Hi, I am Dr. Kim Sage. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. Welcome to my YouTube channel and to this video series called Wildly Loved, where we are really diving into understanding our trauma brains and adaptations and trying to find new and deeper ways to truly wildly love ourselves and others in the world. And so I hope you're finding this series helpful. This week's videos are really all about how to calm and soothe your nervous system. As we know that our body's responses in childhood between our nervous systems and our attachment patterns with our parents really set the stage for a lot of what we often struggle with in terms of managing anxiety and feeling triggered and experiencing trauma, relational issues around trauma. And so this video today is going to help us understand 5 easy ways to stimulate your vagus nerve. Just a quick reminder with a bunch of videos here if you want to dive deeper, but the vagus nerve is basically a part of your autonomic nervous system. And the part of the vagus nerve, basically what it does is it runs from your brain, through your face, your thorax, down to your abdomen. It's this wandering branch. And it is really responsible for that parasympathetic response, that part. Remember that sympathetic is more that fight or flight mobilizing, and the parasympathetic is also known as the rest and digest part of this branch. And so what we're trying to do, though we can be doing it without even trying at times, is find ways to help stimulate that vagal nerve and the increased vagal tone, as it is called, in ways to help us calm and soothe our bodies. So we're going to get into 5 easy ways, and they're actionable items to do. There are lots of things you can do, but these are 5 that I really like and that are quick and easy to learn. Really quickly, if you're new here, please consider subscribing and checking that little box, and that way you'll get notified when I post new videos. Please check out my links down below on some courses I've created on how to help heal your relational issues in terms of your inner child. And if you were raised in a family with parents who may have struggled with something like borderline or narcissism or emotionally immature behaviors and patterns that really were patterns and remained untreated. And as a result, you may have some significant relational issues or difficulties regulating emotion, and certainly may have difficulties in those relationships and or in how those things play out in the partners you choose, in your parenting and things like that. So the first one is a technique where you're going to want to sit either on the floor or in a chair. I'm going to set my laptop down, and you just want to get comfortable. So feel free to kind of plant yourself anywhere. What I like about these is there are some techniques that really are best work by learning them laying on the floor. But oftentimes we're in our car or in our office or doing something where we can't really do that. Now before we get started, as I said, you're comfortably in your seat. Let's just do a quick and gentle sort of check-in with our body by turning our head just sort of very gently to the right and back to center, and now to the left. And back to center. You might notice that you have different mobility on either side. That's pretty common, and we're going to check in with that mobility after we do the first exercise, okay? So the first exercise starts with you taking your right hand and placing it on top of your head, just right on top, putting your elbow out, sort of it's facing this way, okay? Just gently. There should be no strain here whatsoever. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, in a minute, we're going to just tilt ever so slightly right ear down to right shoulder, and we're going to tilt a little bit like this, okay? And then what we're going to do next is we're going to look up towards the left, but our head is staying in the same position. So we're not going to turn our head and look up left. We're going to keep our head still forward facing, tilting, but only our eyes are going to go toward the left part of the ceiling. So that's important to keep your head straight. Now before I get into that, we're going to do it in just a second. You might notice while you're doing it that you feel a sense or need to swallow or sigh or shift your breathing in some way, and that is very common. So that can be some signs that you're relaxing and soothing when you're in that position. I often notice that I get this sort of weird feeling in my brain. I can't explain it when I do it. So I'll be curious to see what you feel when you do it if this is new to you. So we're going to do our right side and then our left side, and then we'll check back in and go on to the next exercise. Remember that there should be no straining, like I said, just gentle and easy. And we're going to start with 30 seconds so you can work your way up or do it multiple times. But remember to just start slow like any practice, okay? So let's begin. Take your right hand, place it on the top of your head, keeping that elbow out, right? Now we're going to just gently turn our head to the right and lean out, ear down to that right shoulder, okay? But only our eyes are going to go up towards the left. And I'm going to silently count with you, and then we'll do the other side, okay? Let's begin. I'm having that feeling I have. Okay, come up gently. And now let's do the left side. So arm out on top of our head, keeping that, arm and shoulder out. That we don't want to go forward like this. And we're going to tilt our left ear down to our left shoulder. That kind of C shape, keeping our head in the same position, but only letting our eyes go up towards the right. Are you ready? Let's begin. Okay, back up. Did you notice anything? Did you feel any kind of weird or tingling sense, or the need, like I said, to breathe or sigh or swallow? Maybe? Okay, so now let's just once again check in with our body and do that neck, little bit of a neck turn, and see if there's any increase in mobility. Okay, so we're going to turn to the right. I can already feel I have a little more ability to turn there. Plus I hadn't stretched before this. Okay, and now let's do the left. This side is always tighter for me. Okay, that's the first exercise. Now let's do the second one. Okay, so now the next exercise basically is going to expand what we just did. So that first exercise was really helping us break up tension in our neck area, and because that nerve runs right from our brain all the way down to our abdomen, we're going to continue and deepen the stretch into that abdominal area. So same thing, this is all gentle, no straining. We're going to take our hand, I'm going to demonstrate first and then we'll do it. Once again, right hand is going to go on top of our head, and we're going to tilt to the right, same thing, keeping that arm out. But this time we're going to take our left hand and reach around to this rib cage area right here, okay? And so we're going to kind of pull away as we make a C shape. So you can feel as you're kind of pulling, you're just deepening the stretch and making the C shape. And once again, your eyes are going to look in the opposite direction, and we're going to do it for a minimum of 30 seconds. Once again, you can do it a little bit longer if you need to. You might notice the sigh, the swallow, the breathing shifts. For some of us, that happens quicker than others. Just make sure you listen to your body and don't strain, okay? So let's begin. Right hand out, top of our head, and that's sort of keeping the arm out. And then we're going to take our left hand and wrap it around our rib cage here, kind of a little bit of gently kind of pulling away. And then we're going to tilt to the side, okay, just deepening that stretch. And once again now you can feel I'm actually getting a little further over. And we're going to look up to the left for 30 seconds. Let's begin. Okay, so now let's do the left side. So left arm out on top of the head, right arm reaches around and kind of grabs here in the rib cage, left ear down to left shoulder, tilting, kind of a deep C bend here. But once again, we're gonna look to the right this time, but we're not gonna move our head, okay? So we're not gonna do this. We're gonna hear and look up, okay? So let's begin. Now, those are the first two physical ones that I like, and I feel like you can grow into those and practice. I think just in terms of your relaxation and mobility, those can be incredibly helpful. And I'm very curious to see if you start to practice these. Remember, they're like a practice, like yoga, what you feel. Now let's go over 3 more quick ways to access that vagus nerve. The next one is to do high intensity cardiovascular exercise. So even just a very fast walk, intermittent exercise where you're doing maybe, different types of cardio up and down. The goal is though getting that heart rate up. That can definitely be an activator for helping that later sense of calm. So if you're at work, just taking a brisk walk on your lunch break, right? Or maybe your kid's game, and so you kind of loop around the field or something and just kind of get your body going. Certainly high intensity gym exercise or that type of workout would be the kind of goal. The next one would be singing or humming. Do not underestimate the power of just putting music on when you're making dinner or in your car and letting yourself hum or sing along. Incredibly easy. Try not to choose music that's too, sad or triggering if you're trying to sort of get yourself into a more calm or relaxed state. Maybe something uplifting. But even if it isn't, maybe you need to connect to your feelings and feel sad. Letting yourself sing and hum, all of that can be deeply relaxing and very, very much a great way to increase that vagal tone. And the last one is to do some little gentle massages either inside your ear here in that little space, making little circles, right? I've done that in, I think, another video over here. Or I like to massage, just take these 2 fingers and just kind of rub in that area behind my ears. If you just notice how it feels like when you have a headache and someone is just kind of rubbing in that area, just a gentle soothing. And those are all just really easy things to do, right? So I hope you'll find some of these helpful. You'll give them a try. A lot of it is just slowing down and then adding in these little pieces that help our body lean into that more relaxed state. So I hope those were 5 easy ways for you to connect to your vagus nerve. There are lots of videos here on YouTube you can find if you just search increase vagal tone, vagal nerve, meditations, things like that. But I think it's important to understand, as I keep talking about, there is a direct connection between what's happening in our nervous system and how we can calm and soothe ourselves. So thanks for watching. Please stay safe and well, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.